Ah, yes. So we got our first look at Henry Cavill playing Geralt of Riviera from the Witcher series, and it doesn't look awesome, but not because of here down. It's mainly because of the mop he's got going on his head. They gave him a pretty sweet wig. I don't know if it's because he has a receding hairline or if it's just because he didn't want to dye his hair white, but it doesn't look good. It looks like one you can get at Party City, and then they kind of like glued the ends of the wig to like his skin to make it look like it's like growing into his scalp, but the hair itself just looks like fake hair. So that's kind of disappointing, but this was the first day that they were shooting. There was no special effects added to this. He just posted it right there from a phone, right off the spot. So I think with a little bit of CGI and some shadowing, they could really make that hair look a lot better. He does have a little bit of 5 o'clock shadow, but a lot of people are complaining that he doesn't have the beard that he has. Now here's the problem. Geralt has had a character arc of 3 video games from CD Projekt Red. That's the game studio that does the video games. In the first one, he didn't really have a beard. I didn't play it, but I looked at pictures and I looked at reviews for it, like on IGN and stuff. The only one I played was the third one. So say what you will, I might not have that big of a foot in this to like be able to argue this, but I know that his character has evolved over those 3 video games. I played the last one, Wild Hunt, which was phenomenal. It was an amazing game, and I'm really upset that I never went back and played the old ones, but I have this thing now where I just don't want to go back and play those because they look like so outdated and cheesy, and we got all these new games coming out like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so... But I know that he has evolved into Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt, and the thing with this movie is... the thing with this show is they are not adapting Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt because that is Geralt's endgame. That is the end of his story. That is the finale of their trilogy. That's when he settles down with whoever you pick to settle down with, whether Yennefer or Triss or whatever, and you pretty much retire from being a Witcher. So they're not going to make one season of the show and that's it, call it quits. No, as much as I hope that they're going to make, a good quality show and that they're fans of, the game, it's also their job, so they obviously want to make a couple seasons of this, and they won't be able to do that if they go straight to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So they have to start at the very beginning. Now, that could mean the first video game, but I think they're going to take it back further than that. By that, they're clearly basing this off of the books. Now, CD Projekt Red didn't make The Witcher. They bought the rights to it from an author from Poland who wrote a bunch of novels based off of this character. I guess they thought it was cool about a guy that would hunt monsters and also try and save his stepdaughter, who is also a crazy wizard or witch or whatever you want to call her, sorcerer. They're going kind of based off the books, and in the books there's actually a paragraph that I read online today of him asking Dandelion for a razor to shave his beard because he hates having a beard. So maybe the clean-shaven face is because they want to stay closer to the books. Now, from what I'm told, the books do kind of wrap up in the same way that The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt wraps up in, but it's really just the beats. It's, him trying to save Ciri, his stepdaughter, but, CD Projekt Red kind of took it and made it its own around that core idea, and, added their own, little elements to it. So if they follow the book route, it will probably be a lot of different. Now, I mean, obviously they're not being super original, but I'm kind of excited for it to follow the book rather than the game because I know the game. I just played the game. So I'd like to see it be a little bit different, so I have some surprises to look out for that I don't expect coming. There's also a lot more they can cover if they follow it based off the book because, I mean, the game, don't get me wrong, is a 60-hour game, but it's really just one storyline in that game. It's him saving Ciri, whereas in the book there's multiple novels that they could follow, different story arcs for his character before they get to the one where he has to save Ciri, which is also why it makes sense that the person that they picked to play Ciri is so young, because it's going to start off when he first adopts her, obviously. So kind of in the beginning of the game when you're with Ciri when she's really little and you're training her, of the Wild Hunt at least. It's going to be like that, and then over the course of how many seasons, I'm sure the last season will end with the Wild Hunt. So for people to sit there and say oh, it doesn't look anything like him, he doesn't have his scar, he doesn't have a beard, we're going to get there. He's going to get the scar, he's going to get the beard, and then for people saying Henry Cavill's a bad actor and stuff, I don't think he's a bad actor. He's not phenomenal, but he's not bad. It's just he keeps getting typecasted in these moody, depressing roles But I mean, if you've seen him in Man from Uncle, he was awesome in that movie. He was awesome in Mission Impossible. I think with the right material and the right directing, he could do great. And like I said, with the hair, they could just do a little bit of CGI and shadowing. It's pretty cheap, it's pretty quick, and they'll make it look so much better. Also, the only thing I'm wondering how they're gonna do is how they're gonna make him end up with whoever he ends up with. Like in the game, it was notorious for letting you kind of choose your own path in who you wanted to end your life with. Like, do you want to, push Siri away, or do you want to keep her around to become a Witcher with you, or do you want to end the game with Triss by your side, or Yennefer as your girlfriend? A lot of choices. So what I was saying is, what could be cool is they do the first season, and then like as the seasons go on, they get feedback from the fans of like who we want them to end with, and whatever the majority vote is, like say like 60% of us want Yennefer and 40% want Triss. Go with Yennefer. Do what's right, do what's fair by the percentage. And it would be cool if they kind of get like the fan feedback from us to shape the way the story would go, because that would be like the first Netflix like interactive show I would have ever heard. It would be really innovative and unlike anything I've ever seen before. And I would be really excited to know that my decisions and my opinions impact the show. And it would also give like the fans a reason to like start a community page and like talk about it and stuff. And it'll just be really interesting to see how that works. Also, this is apparently one of the highest budgeted shows Netflix has made to date. I don't know how true that is after seeing Altered Carbon, which is another show I loved. I'm really upset that they're not bringing Joel Kinnaman back and instead they're bringing Anthony Mackie, but whatever, we'll see how it is. So I'm excited to see just how well the quality of this is. It really is truly amazing how far Netflix has come. I mean, they're making like AAA movies with Martin Scorsese. They're making AAA Netflix shows, with Henry Cavill. Like, these are all A-list actors, and I'm really excited to see this show. And I think that Henry Cavill is going to do great. He looks really good. In the first fan-made picture that I saw of him, where he's like kind of looking down and like the fan made the picture, I'll put it right here. He looks fantastic, and I'm sure he will eventually evolve into this. And let's not forget, the reason why they showed off this footage of Henry Cavill today is because they want our feedback. They want to know what else they could do to make the character better. So keep letting them hear what you have to say. Are you excited to see Henry Cavill play Geralt? Are you excited to see the show in general? Or do you think that this should have been on HBO instead? Because this is kind of really violent. I mean, Netflix can get violent too, but like I just feel like HBO is so notoriously well known for handling violence and sex, which there's a ton of in HBO, but I guess they think that the property might be a little risky. I also wonder how many places, the producers of this show shopped around before they landed it at Netflix. Anyway, let's talk about it down below. As always, I'll catch you next time.